Hello, it's the new long weekend, Truth and Reconciliation Day. It is Saturday, September 30th. We're going to spend 2 nights, brought lots of good food. I'll make it a quick video, just do some highlights. We're going to catch some fish, and I brought a smoker, and we're going to make sweet and spicy smoked fish. Thank you very much for tuning in. So the pack rat came back, moved some stuff around again, moved around the electrical tape. The cheap little air horn has been thrown around. Some poop on that little table there. And at the back, a rock moved and chewed up a rope off the clamp. So yeah, he didn't build a nest though again. We'll give it another blast of bear spray when we leave, like we did last trip when we discovered the big nest and all the damage on my last video. So one of my viewers suggested a bag of mothballs. I was going to buy some today before coming up, and I didn't. But clearly maybe that's something we need in here. This critter keeps coming back. Bet you that's not as yummy as the ones we brought. I brought the spray 9. It's supposed to kill all sorts of viruses and yuckiness. I'm gonna just spray everything here. So, you know, all these rocks, he's pissing and pooping. I don't know, I'll feel better anyways doing this. Right back on all the tables. Bad. Yeah, there was poop again all in there, in between some of the rails here. I had to put the bucket under, knock it through with the broom, so it wouldn't get in the rocks. I'm sure some did. So we're just going to use the tent again tonight. Boy, I can really smell this stuff. It smells bleachy. Well, and I'll let that dry and you can sit there still. Oh, he's just being everywhere. Probably used half of it so far. Stay away from the sandwiches, please. All right. And of course the whiskey jacks are here. Haven't seen the chipmunks yet. Not sure if that bear spray in the lean-to to get the pack rat out was something that made them not want to come around anymore. We'll see if they show up this weekend. I'm sure they will. We brought a big bag of seed for them. So there was a lot of wind and rain, so a lot of needles to sweep up. As you can see, I've started a little bit there. There, all those needles raked up. When making this place, I spent a lot of time and effort digging up and bucketing over and laying out a couple inches of sand on these paths, so I want to keep them clean. And then the rest of the way, that's forest. Same with there, rest of the way forest. And all swept down the side of the wood pile and the tent pad and on top of the tarp. That's what the tarp's for, keep debris out, less fire hazard, sparks from the fire pit, you never know. I keep clean camp. Well, it's 7 degrees. We got up here late today. It's only 3:30 now. I think we got here around 2. One chipmunk came out. Alright, did some more sweeping behind the lean-to and down towards the food bucket. Really like how all the moss is growing on the sandy path. And the moss filled really good on the back of the fire pit. Now that goes on there. I actually have to put that on before it goes into the hole. Well, there it is. Just got to fix that roll that flap up again and tuck it under nicer. Just Bic lighter and fat wood and paper. Nothing fancy. That's some of the stuff I found recently. Just put it propped up there. It's starting to rain. Just a sprinkle. Yeah, so our fire ban's lifted after 2.5 months. That was mid-July, wasn't bad. They had one really early and then they realized, yeah, too early, and they lifted it. It only lasted a week, but we had some horrible fires in our area. And some are still going, but we had 3 days of rain. So oh, it smells like burnt hair. Well, the awning away because I want to burn up some of those piles up by the horseshoe pit and the hammock area there. I went and put a few holes in my awning. Oh well. Okay, so walking out to the front of the lake, where I walk out and get water on the log, and where I have that channel, I'll bring a canoe in, which I haven't done yet. I have this path that was a little bumpy, had some dips, and all those needles I swept up off the paths and in camp this evening, or this afternoon. Now it's evening. I've laid it out on the, just in here mostly. It was really a big swoop dip down. I have more sweeping to do to the food bucket, so I'll put some more in there. And now all those piles behind the horseshoe pit, I'm not burning them anymore. I started burning it tonight. I'm not anymore. I'm going to put it all here and kind of do pile it up so I can have a nice, it's not even here, very uneven. So my goal is to even it out with all those branches. And then I'll let winter hit it and all the weight of the snow and pack it down. And then spring I'll check it out, fill in any other dips and holes, and then lay out all my spring cleanup raking duff over top, like I did on my path to the log for water. So I'm going to fill that in there and a little better here, and just from here straight to the corner in line of where it comes in, I'll fill in. This will be all nice and filled in. And pretty low. It did come up already in 1 week. I have to get those logs out of there so I don't bottom out bringing a canoe in someday, sometime. Maybe. Well, I was going to do it this weekend, but the water rose. Last weekend was the best. It was all muddy still. So I don't know. We'll do our best to bring a canoe in next spring if we do, now that I have the canoe. It's something we really want to do. Park at one of the resorts up here and canoe in. So I've taken a dent out of that smaller pile. I've taken a bit off of that pile. Well, a little sprinkle of rain. We know it's going to stop, but put the awning up anyway. And we're not burning all that brush now anyways. I've found something now that I've shown you what I've decided to do with it. And then in the morning I'll show you all the holes I put in the awning when the light's shining through. We have a nice cozy fire going. It's 8 o'clock. Tent set up. I checked the camera, checked the SD card on the Trailcam, and it was a Bobcat or a Lynx. It's grainy and dark. It's hard to tell unless you knew animals, which I don't. But I'll put it on this video and you can have a look. So it was 2 weeks since we've been up, and this is Saturday, and it was just last Thursday was the date stamp on it. Came up from the water. Good night, everyone. It's 10 o'clock. It's about 2 degrees out. Good morning. It's 7 o'clock. It's 1 degree out. I got out of bed at 6. Jen's still sleeping. It was cold last night. Yeah, Chippy likes the oatmeal too. Look at those cheeks.
Just a whole pile.
Alright, last of the sweepings finished. The path to the food bucket. So, with the stuff I swept up, I picked up those piles and filled in some holes near these roots here. Just have that one hole there to fill in. And then I'm gonna get some sand and level that whole area off. It's hard for you to tell, but it's sloped. Put sand over that because that's what my path is made of. And this is just where I tie the rope for the food bucket. Goes to that pulley and then up to there. But as you can see, I finally, after all these years, decided to open this up. I didn't want to cut the branches off, but most of them were dead. I can get right in there and tie the rope to that tree. That's where the rope from the pulley goes and ties to the tree. So just got to level off a little landing area there, slope it down to my path here. Something else I did today, because I plan on making a little nature walk maybe, and a dugout. So I just cleared some of the branches off of that tree. You see I've started filling in holes. That's a hole, that's a hole. Just gotta stomp on it. And then just gonna make a path somewhere. Find a cool spot for a dugout. And there's that. Sun was in the lens, so here's a different angle. Jen's been getting breakfast all going while I'm working out, doing some cleaning up. So it's 11 o'clock, breakfast's cooking. Look at that, Jen made me breakfast. Look at that, Jen got a good one. We're gonna smoke fish. Get one more like that or a couple others. I think it'll fit 2 or 3 fish. Well, I finally finished. So this is where I'll bring the canoe in. I cleaned up those 2 large piles behind the horseshoe pit where the hammock hangs, plus a couple large piles elsewhere around camp that were left over from spring cleanup. These used to be swampy and bumpy and fallen logs and overgrown, and So I've leveled it off with all the branches and duff, and a nice level area to bring the canoe in. And after the winter, it'll all pack down good, and then I'll fine tune it in the spring. Just gonna finish filling in all in line with where that channel comes in. So just that triangle to finish filling in. Canoe will pull right in along there, and out we'll climb. And there you have it. Those two huge piles that were there are all cleaned up. Alright folks, a little more nicifying. Just the one fish, but I brought the cinder block up. I put briquettes in it and those little fire starter thingies, the briquette starter cubes. And then I have this little smoker I bought brand new, but off buy and sell. Little dynamite by True North. You just put it over a heat source. It comes with your first batch of shavings. Alright, check this thing out. Okay, 2 layers. Comes with this, like I said. You just throw the stuff in the bottom, throw your fish on here, put the lid on, and set it over heat. I think maybe you can slide under those restaurant things or whatever you light and put under there, or on a propane stove. We're going to try my barbecue here and see if it'll make enough heat. Just down into there. So I didn't really bring salt, but I have this seasoning salt that's very salty. It doesn't have very much pepper and other stuff in it. Just a cheap seasoning, barbecue salt seasoning. It wasn't really great. So that'll help dry it. We're only putting it on for a short period of time, really. So now what I also brought, I like sweet and hot. So I have, well, that's too much probably. Yeah, I have these. What are they, honey? Just chili peppers?
Yep.
Them chili pepper thingies. Oh, everyone's saying those are gonna be hot. That's me and Jen at the same time. We're everyone. Yeah, that's nasty. And then I like the brown sugar because hot and sweet. Now, we've used this briquette system here a few times. We've made cookies and cinnamon buns. We just haven't done the fish yet. Now, I know sugar just makes it wet again, so it avoids the idea of salting and drying your fish, but this will be a moist fish, I guess. Moist cooked, not a dried fish. I just need to find a piece of wood or something to cover that hole to help keep heat in. There you go, that'll do. And that cinder block, Has air vents on each side for the briquettes. There's a raven in the tree somewhere there. There's two of them that come here all the time. They're my friends. I feed them a sandwich. Have a sandwich, actually. It's time to feed them. See, I'll just put it under the tree he's at, and he sees it.
I see him.
All right, let's get the sandwich. So I opened it up and held it up for him. He was in this dead tree. There's the two that are a pair, and they snuggle each other and hang up there all winter long. I don't see them as much in the summer. But it took off, dive bombed, did a circle, looked at the sandwiches I was holding out in each hand, and then just took off that way. So it's too bad I missed leaving it for him. I don't know if it'll be back, him, her, whatever it was. I don't know if those briquettes are going to get hot enough to burn the wood chips, but they should get hot enough to slowly through time to cook that fish. Hopefully. We'll see. Might have to burn some wood under there. That's what I had to do in the wintertime, making cookies and cinnamon buns. Mind you, that was winter and it was colder. But yeah, still just not hot enough maybe with briquettes. This is just something I thought of. It hasn't really been too great. This little briquette system I have. So within 5 minutes of me saying that, we have smoke. And you can smell that. Yeah, them chips are burning. Gonna have some good fish. We got burgers for dinner, so this will be a bedtime snack because we're gonna leave them on there for at least 4 hours. If those briquettes run out before then, which I guess they will, we'll toss some wood in or more briquettes. I keep a bag down here. Alright, it's 9:30. Jen's climbing into bed. I'm going to stay up a little later. My phone died, so we couldn't show you dinner. We had hamburgers with barbecue sauce and cheese, and asparagus and potatoes mixed with onions and garlic and spices and peppers, and corn on the cob. That's the charger I used. It's a Monkey Extreme. I have a solar panel, larger size battery package deal as well. So it got me up to 50% from 3%. And I hadn't charged it for a few weeks, so if it was freshly charged I might have been able to get 100% charge on my phone. As for the fish, the briquettes ran out. I threw some wood in there. So now the fish is yucky wood smoke, not nice, you know. Actually, I don't know what flavor of wood chips those were. Apple, mesquite, what have you. But, you know, old forest wood's kind of different. But that's what I threw it in there to light on fire for heat. So that was what my plan was, to boost the heat. Well, let's check out and see how they were. We put them at 6:30. It's 9:30 now. And a lot of the heat's been gone for a while. They look good. They're cooked. You could eat that. I don't think you get sick. Yeah. Good.
Yummy. Awesome.
I don't fillet well, so they're pretty bony. I don't even know how to fillet, so I just ripped them in half. Won't lie. Told you I don't know nothing about nothing. You're watching Butcher Bushcraft. A little hot.
Well, we saw all the spices.
Jen gets half in the morning. She's making me savor some. Too much spice. Could have used a little more sugar. But cooked all the way, so that's good. Yeah, too hot. All right, folks, good night, and see you in the morning. Too hot.
Way too hot.
Good morning. It's just about 10 o'clock. It's 7 degrees out. We were up by 8:30. Just doing a lot of nothing this morning. Finished all my work this weekend for all the piles left over from spring cleanup. And all my fixings and changes. I think I'm all done for the season. Ready to fall into winter. We're just gonna hang out and pack up and be out of here by 2 o'clock, I think. Here's the little woodpecker again in the same spot as last couple weeks ago. Yeah, he's only like 10 feet away. I'm right here at the horseshoe backstop here. So I've made myself a platform for loading up stuff for heading out after a trip down. It's just on my entranceway in. I've kind of recut the path coming in, made it more in line with the fence. And it's right off my horseshoe game here. So things just keep getting niceified. So I'll put stakes on the front and back, 2 or 3, and then fill that in with sand and step on it and pack it, and then sweep it off. And it'll be good to go, but that'll be another trip. It's getting the afternoon here. It's time to head home. Well, there we go. How do you like that? All loaded up? I like it. Well, I just gave her 3 squirts of bear spray because upon arrival this weekend there was signs of the pack rat. And I forgot to hit play, but oh well. Give it 3 blasts. That should do it, I hope. Got to get some mothballs, spread them all over in there and around.